I've seen that content creator Nika Diwa.
I just can't figure out to have the punani and peen conversation with her. Again, she's literally a baby.
She seems weird. Like, why are you posting everything?
We're gonna have to do a C-section.
And like your relationship with your husband.
With you not being with me on Christmas, first of all.
Do you ever cheat on me?
Absolutely.
And how like you're going to therapy and like how you're showing your kids and all of that.
What can I do for you?
I need to buy a gun.
You're broken down and tired of hearing all the news that's going around.
Roxy, do you have something to say about today's video? Even she's flabbergasted for what we are about to dive into. Hello everybody, it is me, Salem, and welcome to my commentary channel where we take serious topics and dissect them in a not so serious way. Today's topic, the absolute most insufferable and unhinged, addicted to oversharing, mommy influencer, family vlogger, Nika Diwa. And when I say oversharing everything, I literally mean everything.
Uterus is where your baby grows.
These Nigerian babies built different. It takes two of us to hold her down and give medicine.
My infant went into anaphylaxis eating peanut butter, and now I'm having a panic attack realizing her life is in my hands. Girl, if you don't put the damn camera down. Okay, let's get into this. Hello everybody, it is me, Salem, and welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are feeling good. I hope you guys' weekend went good. I hope you guys are feeling fresh and restored. I hope you guys aren't like me and are just so sleepy and tired. I keep yawning, and that's because I'm already tired of having to repeat the same thing over and over again. We need to ban family channels, mommy influencers on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. It needs to stop because I'm sick and tired of having to make these dang videos exposing y'all. Actually, I don't even have to expose you guys because y'all do that for me.
The baby is 2 years old, and I just can't figure out an effective way to have the punani and peen conversation with her. Again, she's literally a baby.
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
You would think that after last week's video, people would learn. People would learn, but unfortunately, they do not. If y'all didn't see my last YouTube video, it was on Astrovino Part 2, the remix, Electric Boogaloo. Y'all, I swore I was never gonna talk about Miss Mucinex Booger ever again, aka Astrovino, TikTok's literal worst mom ever. But unfortunately, the updates have gone to a point where they just got to a level where the bar was like down through the dirt, right? But then the bar went lower than hell.
She married a man in prison. This is her second marriage in prison.
Oh my God. My ex-husband unalived her dad, and that's not nothing to do with me. The victim's daughter is not gonna come in here and victimize me like.
And I just had to say something, y'all. And y'all, just like my first part of the Astrovino, you know, TikTok's most horriblest, dramaticest, most toxic mom on TikTok, it did really well. Thank you guys so much for watching it, and as always, the comments were not only dragging her, y'all had me giggling, but I noticed that in my comments after I posted my video, I had so many comments and so many DMs from y'all asking me to talk about a mommy family vlogger influencer named Nika Diwa. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Maybe it's Nika, maybe it's Nike, just do it. Girl, no. If anything, she does it a little too much, and by it, I mean stuff like this. I just prayed for a pastor to get eaten alive by mosquitoes. I was having an anxiety attack because my baby wouldn't stop screaming, and this random lady asked if she could hold her to give me a break. Not you handing your kid to a stranger. Or sometimes I feel guilty for yelling at my kids. Then I remember that wild animals eat their young, and I feel better. Or who could forget the classic doing couples counseling in front of your child and captioning it, fighting to show her what a healthy family looks like, heart emoji, to Coldplay's Fix You playing in the background. What the fuck? And she needs to stop. Now, I'm gonna be for real with you guys. When I was getting these comments and DMs and everything, first of all, I was like, I don't know who that is. And second, I was like, okay, let me take a little looky look because I trust y'all, you know, I trust you guys. If you guys tell me to make a video on exposing broccoli, I will do it. And you know what? Broccoli was actually man-made. fun fact. So even she fake. When I first started to look at Nika's content, I'm not gonna lie, at first glance I was like, I don't get it. I don't see anything problematic, nothing wrong. It just seems like one of those content mommy family vlogger creators who literally post the same thing that every other mommy family vlogger content creator posts, and they are worshipped for literally having cringy millennial humor and talking about how much they like doing it with their husband.
Changing into my swimsuit.
You're changing your swimsuit? Not here. You're going to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Talk to me. What's going on? Why would you be changing away from me?
Disgusting!
And for some reason, they always have like 20 bajillion subscribers and followers. Anyways, and so I was like, you know what? Maybe y'all were being a little too petty. I don't get it, you know? Sis just looks like she's living her life. Like, I swear, society is just so obsessed with canceling people.
I can hear something. What? Give that to mommy. Give me up, mommy. Well, don't rub it on your neck.
Oh my God. Oh, I am at a loss for words. I am at a loss for words. I did not have to scroll too far along her feed or research her, not even 2 seconds, y'all. And I already ran into stuff like her tricking her husband into drinking her breast milk, her bragging about drinking while pregnant, her fetishizing her interracial marriage.
What can I do for you?
I need to buy a gun.
Constantly having panic attacks, but also while filming her having it for a sponsorship. And also her filming herself in the car while her kid was literally having to go to the hospital. Y'all, is this the ultimate mommy vlogger final boss? Y'all heard of mommy vloggers and family vloggers oversharing mostly their children's business and their whole content's about that? Well, Nika is a little different. She overshares everything.
My feelings matter to you. Why is that such a heavy cost? My feelings are extremely hurt.
Well, I'm sorry that your feelings are hurt.
She's gonna be a warrior. She's gonna be an advocate for women everywhere.
She's exposing her own kids, her own marriage, joking about how she would cheat on her husband in a heartbeat.
Could you ever cheat on me?
Absolutely.
But also, she constantly overshares about herself. And by that, I mean that she makes everything about herself.
Your mom, your daughter, me. Go.
It's my wife. I mean, you're my other half.
Look, I get it. So many people want to be, especially in this realm, in the mommy vlogger, family vlogger thing. For some reason, they are very like cut and paste. They tend to be exactly the same as every other person who also makes this type of content. And for some reason, there's this like running occurring theme of these types of content creators who like impulsively want to overshare everything. And here's the thing, I understand wanting to be authentic, genuine, share moments of like, this is just our daily lives, like no filter, hashtag no filter, hashtag not fake, hashtag we are real. When in reality, it's like, this is fabricated authenticity. This is fabricated vulnerability. Not even. It just crosses the line to being completely disturbing. Like, girl, this ain't vulnerability. This is oversharing. And the fact that you're doing that in front of your children, at this point, it's just, that isn't hashtag no filter. This is the real me. No, it's called you need to get help and get off the internet. And here's the thing that's crazy. If you also try to do your own research on Nika and everything, you probably will run into the same problem that I did, where everything at first seems fine. Like, her content is just her existing, vibing with her family and everything, to the point where even I at first was fooled, because I was like, I don't get it. I can't find anything. That's because not only is she a notorious oversharer, she's also a notorious deleter. She deletes every single thing, any slight criticism, negative thing, anything remotely also valid that people say about her parenting, about how it's weird that she overshares, or that she just is making content that's like downright disturbing. She will delete, she will block, she will do anything in her power to keep up this fake image of being like a perfect family vlogger and everything. And I think if anything, that's more disturbing, just constantly trying to cover her tracks. But y'all, this is the internet never forgets, okay? And if you're posting moments like these, yeah, they definitely won't forget. And y'all, you know someone's parenting is bad when they themselves defend Nurse Hannah, a woman who literally talked about how she doesn't change her kid's diaper when they pee.
I'm not changing my kid's diaper when they pee. I've never done that. Do you know how expensive diapers are?
What is this world? Genuinely, what is this world? And thankfully, because I love you guys so much, I'm going to spare you guys, and I'm going to spare your guys' soul, life behind your eyes and brain cells, and I will make the sacrifice and deep dive into the crazy world of Nika Diwa, aka the notorious oversharer. Because y'all, it goes way deeper than all I've just shown you, such as showing her toddler her own blood from her plastic surgery, showing her toddler how she has another sister, and I quote, in heaven, stealing smaller creators' content, and constantly lying about how she's seeing other struggling moms, fake story times after fake story times, just to feed her own savior complex. People eat it up in the comment sections all the time. Almost 1 million likes? Oh hell. This video is gonna be another deep dive. So get into bed with me, get into jammies, grab your favorite snack, drink some water. Let me just rehydrate my brain because it already feels dehydrated from all the chant I have to deep dive into today. And let's get into the crazy world of Nika Diwa. I swear y'all, making all of these videos, they be bringing up my heart pressure. I be feeling a little sick, sick of the bullshit. But thank God that there is something such as ZocDoc that can help you. You ever catch yourself putting off like a doctor's appointment for the dumbest reasons? I'm just too busy, even though I know I be scrolling on TikTok for hours on end. Or girl, I'll just Google my symptoms instead, which then you find out that you only got 5 days left. We've all been there. But booking a doctor's appointment shouldn't feel like something you have been putting off. Thankfully, there is ZocDoc. ZocDoc makes it so easy to find and book doctors who actually take your insurance. You can search for in-network doctors across every specialty: mental health, dental, primary care, urgent care, you name it. You know exactly what you're getting, whether you want a doctor or one who won't keep you waiting forever. And the best part is that you don't have to wait like a billion years for a doctor's appointment. Most ZocDoc users get an appointment within 24 to 72 hours, and some even the same day. I use ZocDoc for my health, and you should too. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments, sis, and go to ZocDoc.com/Salem to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Salem. ZocDoc.com/Salem. Do you guys ever wonder why some brands just seem to blow up overnight? Like one day you've literally never heard of this brand, then the next everyone and their mimas are wearing this brand. Think about like Skims, Allbirds. Yes, they've got products, they've got the marketing down. Here's the thing that no one really talks about: the business behind the business. And for millions of businesses, that secret is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's literally home to the #1 checkout on the planet, and if you hate abandoned cart, Shop Pay boosts conversations up to 50%, meaning way more sales and way fewer just browsing shoppers ghosting your cart. So if you're serious about growing your business or want to start selling something that you've always wanted to start selling, such as art crafts or candles or t-shirts, then you need a commerce platform that sells wherever your customers are scrolling and strolling on the web, because businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. So upgrade your business and get the same checkout Skims, Allbirds, and Alo use. Sign up now for $1 per month trial at shopify.com/Salem Tovar. That's shopify.com/Salem Tovar to start selling smarter today.
The baby is 2 years old, okay? And I just can't figure out an effective way to have the punani and peen conversation with her. Again, she's literally a baby.
Discussion topic 1. Nika Diwa, the chronically online mom influencer who shares way too much. So if you're like me and you heard the name Nika Diwa and you're like, girl, who? I'm here to explain all of that, because I didn't even know who this person was, but apparently they're very, very famous. Like very. I'm talking 3.3 million followers on her TikTok, millions of followers on her Instagram, and also 2.4 million subscribers on YouTube. Y'all better get me to 1 million, because if there are hoes out here posting content like this,
These Nigerian babies built different.
who can get 2.4 million, help your girl out, like and subscribe. And if you're also like me, then you're probably wondering, I don't get it. Why are people following this woman? What is her content? Where did she come from? I got you. Nika Diwa was born on November 1st, 1989, and is a prominent TikTok content creator, also a matchmaker affiliated with The Motherlink. She has amassed over 6 million followers across all platforms on her TikTok account Nika Diwa, where she shares insights into her family life and promotes messages of love, connection, authenticity, and vulnerability, all in a hashtag quirky, relatable, millennial way. Asking my husband if I'm a sunrise or a sunset. You're a level 10 hurricane. I just choked on my coffee. Pretending to be split in half and my husband gets home. This is totally real, guys. Y'all are just so funny.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all my family on here, those who were with me and heard me when I first posted videos about postpartum depression, those who've been with me for my first and second births, just marriage stuff, all the things, and you are the reason that I was able to fight.
You know, so far, all of this doesn't seem like a bad thing. I think it's important to share the raw, the real, and sure, maybe if it's cringy, I guess it's still valid. But bringing awareness to postpartum depression and all of these things are important until you dig deeper and realize that Nika Diwa weaponizes this all the time and overly exposes literally everything in her life for money. Go through a silent panic attack with me. Hashtag sponsored. Well, I guess at least she's getting paid for it. I have mine for free. And you know, it's pretty impressive that she could have a panic attack while setting up her tripod and then editing this for a sponsor. I gotta do better on mine. Before her rise on TikTok, Nika established herself actually in many different types of realms of wellness, fashion.
Fashion blogger and New York-based fashion stylist Nika Diwa shared styling tips along encouraging women of all ages to love their bodies regardless of size, shape, and color.
Even attempted doing couples courses.
Marriage is probably the toughest thing that you'll ever do. So the
That's true.
Number one most rewarding.
And kiss a lot.
Kiss a lot.
But unfortunately, all of that completely flopped because why would you want to take advice from someone who posts stuff like this?
To ask if I would be okay with you not being with me on Christmas, first of all.
For couples counseling? Honestly, I admire the delusion, but next. Her professional journey included a lot of just back and forth with making a fashion blog, the Diwa Dollhouse, as well as buying and merchandising at companies such as Barney's New York and The Real Real. She dabbled in a couple of coaching and women empowerment courses, all while trying to also empower women for being mothers. When it comes to Nika Diwa, she definitely has this pattern of trying to find areas with vulnerable people and just trying to make her mark in that area, whether it's couples or kids, lifestyle, and everything. And after years of throwing darts in random places, she finally hit a bullseye with just making her own TikTok account and social media all about her and her lifestyle.
So that I know that my feelings matter to you. Why is that such a heavy cost?
Nika Diwa's content on her TikTok and Instagram tend to be the same. Her content often features her family, including her husband, Emika, and their daughters, Z and Z. I'm going to refer them as Z and Z because I'm not going to share their actual names, unlike their actual mother. Anyways, one of her most popular videos actually showcases her husband and her child painting their nails together. Wholesome! Which has garnered over 40 million views. Apart from family and marriage stuff, Nika also posts things about her vulnerability, such as about her mental health.
Copying my toddler when she's throwing a tantrum.
You see, the thing about Nika Diwa, she wants to empower people. She wants to be humble. She wants to be perceived as this person who doesn't have it all together, but is trying her best. Ew, let me not do that ever again. Literally. Anyways, you see, every aspect of Nika Diwa's life, she's not only a mommy vlogger, she's a cool mommy vlogger. One that drinks while pregnant. And one who films herself arguing with her husband for content in front of her kids.
Could you ever cheat on me?
Absolutely.
But unfortunately for Nika, her content does not come off the way that she wants. She wants it to come off as vulnerable and genuine and raw. But unfortunately, it comes off as disturbing, oversharing, and just downright like, girl, no one needed to see that. And the craziest part is that so many people fall for her aesthetics, her TikToks, and her content because literally no one can tell that all of this is fabricated. It's all lies. It's not authentic or vulnerable. It's just downright oversharing that leads to content like this.
That they can just treat me any type of way or act like any type of way, and that it's fine. And that my feelings go unacknowledged.
Which not only makes herself look bad, but also makes her marriage look bad because yes, even that is not off limits to oversharing, but it also makes her children suffer for that. One of the biggest things in Nika Diwa's content is highlighting her marriage and how good it is.
Look at me. You are simply the most beautiful woman in the world. Look at you.
They just are little sex fiends who always want to be kissing on each other. They're always doing nice things for each other, but also they always wanted to get divorced, and she would also cheat on him if she got the chance. Girl, what is it? Do y'all like each other or not? Sis doesn't only overshare her children or her life, her marriage is definitely at the forefront. And when I mean at the forefront, I mean she literally shares everything about her husband and their marriage. The voice note my husband sent me after a major fight.
And I wanted to take a moment to just let you know that I'm sorry.
Okay. What am I supposed to do with this information? Her husband, Emeka Ehedigbo. Guys, I'm really sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But also, I don't feel that bad because I'm not gonna respect the name of someone who almost got their kids taken away. Yeah, bro has a whole case. Nika's husband plays just as much of a role in her content as much as she does. His most notorious features have been being filmed by Nika punishing their kids, or Nika telling him constantly over and over again how he needs to value her over everything and everyone. Oh, and trust me, bro really agrees with that sentiment. And not only in one TikTok, by the way, I ran into a lot of TikToks about this.
Your mom, your daughter, me. Go.
It's my wife. I mean, you're my other half, so wife is always first. Right? This girl is supremely important. 100 out of 100, she's important. But this girl, from my standpoint, is even more important to me.
Why?
Well, my responsibility is first to my wife. There's no time where pouring into you is less important than pouring into this one. There's nobody who's going to get more grace, more love, more attention from me than you.
Nah, saying that in front of your literal child is crazy. Also, not her trying to act all dumb like, what do you mean why? Girl, you know damn well you told him to say that shit. Anyways. Which, by the way, there's nothing wrong with making couples content. I know I've made some videos about it before in the past of how I'm not a huge fan of couples content, mostly because it's really cringy. Like, y'all not even funny. And I do find couples content to be a little weird. Like, at least be entertaining, you know? Like, try some food, do something. Just don't do whatever it is that y'all do. It's tacky. It's corny. It's corny. I'm sorry. It's corny. And sometimes I do believe that the mix of social media can make it into an unbalanced power dynamic, which makes one partner just overpower the other partner. And then you can just see slowly the relationship unraveling in front of the camera. And it's just really uncomfortable. But there are some people out there who really truly do make nice couples content. I believe in that, right? So there's nothing inherently wrong with wanting to share vulnerable parts of your marriage, you know, your partnership and everything. But there's definitely a difference between sharing the bad times and just the raw marriage life, right? Versus constantly exposing your husband's past, which could totally put your entire family in danger.
You led a pretty gangster life.
I've been stabbed, I've been shot at. I used to run with 5 major gangs out of the Northeast from Brooklyn, from Brooklyn throughout Massachusetts and up into Canada. Used to move massive amount of product.
Girl, what in the Breaking Bad? I will say a lot of people have talked about Nika's husband a lot, about his past, which I think someone's past doesn't really dictate their future, especially if they put in the work to change. However, in 2008, Nika Diwa's husband, Emeka, actually was arrested for child abandonment charges after leaving his kid alone at night. Police officers were called to Mount Vernon Street after reports of very loud music. After searching the house, police said that they found a child asleep and completely alone. Now, which kid, I can't tell you because Nika's husband has a step family as well, so there is no way of knowing whether it was a charge with his current or past family. Either way, it's still horrifying. The strange thing is that this has never been brought to light and they have never addressed this, not even once. And I'm sure it's because their whole branding is that, like being a family and all that type of stuff. But as you will see throughout this video, this is a common theme where Nika Diwa and Mika, her husband, they try so hard to cover up any sort of shady thing with how they're so in love and I have just the best husband ever. Something that I noticed when it comes to Nika Diwa oversharing is that she overshares her marriage. And there's only 3 types of things that she overshares when it comes to her marriage. The first being completely fetishizing her husband. The second, how they are always on the brink of divorce. And 3, how she needs to be loved a lot and validated constantly by him. To the point where it's like, did this have to be filmed? Y'all know that meme where people who are dating be asking each other, would you love me if I was a worm? Take that and maximize it by a trillion and you'll have Nika Diwa.
Is there anything I could do to ever make you divorce me?
Hypothetical or not, the simple answer is no.
What about freaking cheating like that?
Girl, if you don't just let your husband splish splash in the pool, actually don't, he might abandon another kid. Anyways, what is up with her and talking about cheating on this man and just cheating in general all the time and making it seem like it's this like radical thing for conversations to be had as a couple? Like, girl, it doesn't come off as radical or like your hashtag truth. It just comes off as you being miserable. And it seems like the only times that she's not miserable with her husband is when she gets to fetishize him. Apparently they met through a religious dating app where they connected over shared faith and values, which yes, they are religious. Go figure. Are we surprised? No, we're not. He is half black and half white. And Nika is Filipino, which shout out to all my Filipino watchers out there. I love y'all so much. I love your culture. I love your food. But yeah, they're an interracial couple. Who cares? But she cares. A lot. When your rented black baby is going back because you made your own black baby.
Afternoon. What can I do for you?
I need to buy a gun.
These Nigerian babies built different.
And girl, she will not let you forget that. Making content when she was pregnant about carrying a black baby and just so much more stuff. Me pregnant and wondering what my Filipino Nigerian baby will look like. Literally typing it into Google. And this is actually something that Nika Diwa is mostly known for. Just how much she rides on this whole interracial thing to the point where she uses her babies as props too.
Hey, Zizi, are you my baby? No.
Sorry that the audio was kind of wonky for that section. Like I've said, they do everything in their power to make sure that you can't repost anything slightly problematic. So they put copyrighted music in their videos or they delete everything. But if you don't know what's going on in that video, basically Nika Diwa is mouth feeding her daughter lines to like repeat about this running joke that isn't funny, by the way, that Nika Diwa makes about her interracial kids, that supposedly the reason why her kids are black is because that they're actually the neighbor's kids and not hers. And there's no way for her literal like 3-year-olds to know that. So she literally told her kid to reply to a TikTok comment and say, no, I'm the neighbor's baby. Y'all, what the? It's actually brought a lot of attention from the interracial community about how insensitive and weird she is about it.
I've seen that content creator Nika Diwa. I'm going through her videos again with her baby, specifically her mixed baby, as she keeps saying. And the way that she talks about her baby's hair, especially me as a biracial person where I did not experience that from my mother when I was a baby. And the way that her mom makes her seem like her hair is so difficult to do and difficult to handle when it's really, really not.
In general, a really big chunk of her content tends to be about her talking about how she's interracial, how her kids are interracial, how even her stepkids are interracial. However, she literally refers to them as not having her DNA, which is just a really weird way to put it. She's basically like the logic of the mommy social media influencer world. They will not let you forget. It almost comes off as like, girl, it comes off as just racist. asking my baby daddy for $100 for child support, not the brown baby emoji. Now, there has been moments where she opens up and talks about how she's faced a lot of discrimination because of being in an interracial marriage, and for that I can commend her and tell her that, yeah, unfortunately people are still very close-minded when it comes to that stuff. My older sister actually, you know, we're Mexican, she married a white man, and I can tell you guys that firsthand it definitely is still a thing. But I feel like, you know, there's two different types of interracial couples who are in interracial relationships and marriages. The first people are the ones who, first of all, don't mention really that they're in an interracial marriage or relationship, because an interracial relationship and marriage is just a relationship and a marriage. Yeah, there's differences that are acknowledged, there's cultural differences, there might be, you know, glares that you get from ignorant society and stuff, but they work through it and they love each other and they are just like any other couple. But then there's like the other interracial couples who make it like their whole personality that they're interracial. I've seen a lot online that this tends to happen with like Koreans, and I'm not going to talk too much on this because I'm not in an interracial marriage. My husband is Hispanic, I'm Latina, my husband is actually from El Salvador, and I'm from LA. And I'm from California, so I will never know what that's like. However, I have seen online that this happens a lot when specifically women get with Korean men, that they'll be like, guys, get ready with me to go see my Korean boyfriend who lives in Korea, who's Korean, while we eat Korean food. And then we're going to go on a Korean date with my Korean boyfriend. Did I mention I'm dating a Korean? Like, she gives me very much those vibes, but the opposite with her husband, where honestly it does come off as just fetishization. But then when it comes to her showing off her husband and her marriage, there's the complete opposite type of content where it's like she has mentioned time and time again that they are almost getting divorced, that they argue a lot, or how they did counseling in front of their children. And also that fetishization also borders and trickles down to her own kids, where a lot of her content has to do with just talking about how her kids are biracial and everything like that. Which again, nothing wrong with that. However, there's just levels where it borders from bringing awareness or trying to talk about the cultural differences and educate people on it versus stuff like this that just comes off as creepy. Now, like I was saying, she has also made content about her arguing in front of her kids with her husband, and she has also filmed really weirdly intimate moments with her husband and posted them, trying to act all like authentic and real and stuff, but it just comes off as like, girl, we did not need to see this.
To ask if I would be okay with you not being with me on Christmas, first of all, knowing how important that holiday is to me, and two, going somewhere with your brothers just without me to watch football.
How awkward is that? That is so awkward. Like, girl, why do I feel like I'm in the car with you? Why do I feel like I am one of your teenage kids and I have to put on my AirPods and be like, well, let me look outside the window while listening to a sad song because I can't believe this is my life. And the fact that she has admitted that she does this type of stuff in front of her kids just makes me confused. Like, why do you think that's like a flex? Like, that doesn't come off as authentic and genuine and raw. That just comes off as super emotionally immature, because your kids should not know what you guys are talking about. And in general, the way that she overshares with her marriage and stuff, she absolutely overshares way too much with her kids that it's actually shocking.
So first we're gonna try to get it out of the vagina. And open it up. We're gonna have to do a C-section.
Discussion topic 2. Nika Diwa, the chronically online boundary invader, content liar, and her egotistical savior complex. Now, when it comes to her kids, she has biological kids and then stepkids. Oh, and trust, she's gonna let you know even the business of her stepchildren. And when she does, she always makes it as if she's also like one of them. Like, she's young and fun still. Like, when I go out with my kids, they always ask me if I'm the daughter. Ain't no one ask you that. Ain't no one ask you that. She often others her stepkids a lot, to the point where it's kind of like sad to see. Just always mentioning that, oh, they don't have my DNA, or almost like just the only way I'm gonna acknowledge you is if you make content with me, basically. She does, however, have 2 biological daughters. We're gonna refer to them as Z and Z. And man, does she overshare not only their information and what they're going through, but she overshares with them and to them.
The baby is 2 years old, okay? And I just can't figure out an effective way to have the punani and peen conversation with her. Again, she's literally a baby.
How is this not illegal? How is this not illegal? Now, I think you guys are starting to get the idea as to why I'm making this video and as to why so many people were asking me to make this video on her. Because this woman genuinely thinks that it's okay to constantly overshare not only stuff about herself, her marriage, but mostly her children. And honestly, it's just downright disturbing. The first time that Nika Diwa kinda got semi-canceled, and you already know, I don't believe in cancel culture. Doesn't work. The only way things are ever gonna work to get rid of these people is if they get banned off the platform. But we know TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, they're never gonna do anything about it because as long as they're making money, they don't care. Also, why was I talking hella fast? Like, low-key, I was giving Trisha Paytas. Trisha Patas. Oh, y'all got me fired up. Y'all got me fired up though, that's why. The first time that she kind of went viral was a video where she was talking about boundaries with her daughter. And this is actually not new from her content. She regularly tells her daughters, this is what you can learn about consent. This is, you know, your body parts, don't let people touch you there without, you know, let me know and everything. Like, and that in itself, honestly, is a good lesson to teach your kids. I think it's really important to teach your kids to be aware of the bodily autonomy that they have. I think it's really sad that we live in a world where we even have to do that. So I don't fault or blame any parent for doing this. However, there's a borderline between being educational and then just being weirdly graphic and just persistently making that a common theme with your kid. Like, why are you talking about boundaries while changing your kid's diaper on camera?
This area right here, this is your private part. Only mama's allowed to change it.
My uncle do it?
No uncles.
Will your dad do it?
Your dad can do it.
Girl, what? So you're teaching your kid about boundaries and how no one's allowed to invade those boundaries, yet you invade all of them by posting it for millions of people to see. And also, I just want to mention that this video was so insanely hard to find because she has tried scrubbing it off the face of the internet because so many people were rightfully pissed off that she would post something like this, which again goes to show that Nika Diwa is an impulsive oversharer and then a notorious deleter. Is that not an invasion of privacy for them and crossing a boundary? And when this happened, the little girl was saying stuff that was just not okay at all. And not only did Nika film this, she posted it all while talking badly about her husband's family and how she possibly could see how or why the daughter would feel uncomfortable with them getting too close. This whole situation, guys, I could make a whole video just on this interaction alone and how gross it all is. I just don't understand what type of state of mind a human being has to be in order to think that filming this is okay, or ignoring what your child says is okay, or saying this back to your child is okay. There has also been moments where she has talked about wanting to share talk with her literal baby girl.
Effective way to have the punani and peen conversation with her. Again, she's literally a baby. Listen, I'm open to feedback. How do you think I should explain that to a toddler? And do you think it's appropriate?
I mean, it's your kid, but why are you asking the internet? Why are you letting the internet even know about any of this? Now, I will say that something about Nika Diwa is that she is an SA survivor. And I want to tackle this with the utmost respect and gentleness that I can. I myself am a SA survivor, so I understand also where she's coming from. A part of it does genuinely seem like she wants to educate her kids. There's a reason why she's so adamant and constantly educating her kids on this, and I totally understand that, and I really want to be sensitive towards that. However, again, I think we can all agree that there is a fine line between education and then just straight up having conversations that are not yet needed to be had with your kids who genuinely don't comprehend quite yet. Even though boundaries are a common thing that she makes content about with her kids, there tends to be a lot of emphasis on physical autonomy, which is a good thing. Also emotional autonomy. However, when it comes to her own kids literally telling her that they do not want to be filmed, she herself invades those boundaries constantly. There was another viral moment with her where she thought it was funny that her child got into her drawer and could see her toys and stuff, which I find just, I don't even have words for that.
I can hear something.
What? Give that to mommy. Give me up, mommy. Well, don't rub it on your neck.
It's just overall so disturbing. And again, the reoccurring thing I have seen when it comes to, you know, her oversharing her marriage or oversharing her kids and stuff is that there is like this mental blockage where I don't think she understands that not everything needs to be filmed, let alone moments like this or like this, such as showing her toddler her own blood from her plastic surgery, showing her toddler how she has another sister, and I quote, in heaven. Or who could forget the classic doing couples counseling in front of your child and captioning it, fighting to show her what a healthy family looks like, heart emoji, to Coldplay's Fix You playing in the background. In a weird way, every content that she makes, even though she makes it seem like it's all about her kids, empowering her marriage and stuff like that, truly at the end of the day, it's meant to only put a highlight and a spotlight on her. And the more that you deep dive into her as a person, the more this type of content that she posts with her husband and this type of content that she posts with her kids start to make a lot more sense. Or at least it doesn't make sense, but it explains a lot. There you go, that's better wording. Another moment that she posted online thinking that it was like authentic and woke, I guess, was her taking mental health medication in front of her kids and explaining as to why she's doing it. And again, I guess in a way this could be a good thing, I guess, but a lot of people were saying that the video itself looked staged and that Nika has been caught multiple times force feeding lines to her kids so that she can make videos about herself. Some examples online of her asking her kids to repeat lines, as well as setting up scenarios where she could be looked at favorably as like a nice mom, or giving people opportunity and stuff, when in reality the entire time it was just completely fake. There are so many times where Nika Diwa completely steals other people's content, especially from smaller creators, as well as just making up stories to just go viral. And you know they're fake because they're the same type of premise. They're always about how she saw a struggling mom, her heart hurts, and that was her reminder to remain grateful, such as silently acknowledging the cashier pretending not to see the mama's CC declines when buying formula and diapers, with of course the Nika Diwa signature sad music playing in the background. Okay, I guess this one's a little realistic, especially because I know that formula and diapers are pretty expensive, and there were some people in the comments who said that this happens to them before and that they were really grateful for that. You know what? Okay, I'll let this slide. Oh, what's this? She has another TikTok about a similar encounter? Wow, what a stroke of luck, huh? When I saw that woman stealing a can of baby formula at the store, I made eye contact and accidentally dropped $100. Hashtag baby formula. Hashtag I've been there, mama. Almost 1 million likes? Accidentally dropped $100. That woman, the store. Y'all, I'll take 100 for that never happened. I don't know what it is that sends a visceral shock to my nervous system and makes you want to vomit. Whenever I hear the whole "good job, mama bear" or "I've been there, mama," it actually makes me want to gouge my eyes out with a spoon. The fact that there has been 2 stories like this already is kind of a coinky dink, don't you think? If I had a penny for every time this has happened to Nika Diwa, I would have 2 pennies, which isn't a lot. But it's strange that it's happened twice. Oh wait, no, there's another story about this. Last night, I was so exhausted putting my kids to sleep and ordered Uber Eats at 12 a.m. A mom with 3 kids in the car delivered my food, and just like that, I was done complaining. That's a totally real story, guys, especially considering that Uber Eats totally does not have a rule that you can't drive your kids in the car while working, but okay. Also the caption, if I could empty my bank account to tip her, I would. Are you insinuating you didn't tip her? Oh look, another story. Ordered DoorDash late after wrapping gifts and opened the door to a mother holding her infant. She's working late to make Christmas special for her family. You know what, guys? Actually, I'll take 500 for that didn't happen. Yes, because a working mom who has her infant in the car would get down to deliver your food and take her baby outside of the baby seat, which takes forever to do just to deliver your food. I never understood content like this, and Nika Diwa constantly makes content like this to come across as like self-reflective and humble and stuff. It just gives off savior complex. She also made this video that went viral about basically saying that she was gonna play Secret Santa with her audience for anyone who was struggling struggling during the holidays, captioning it, "For the mama struggling to make ends meet for Christmas, drop your Zelle, Venmo, or Cash App." And a lot of people ended up participating in this, but there has been no word of anyone getting anything. I do believe that if you do good works, then you don't have to announce it. However, for someone who sure brags about being grateful and having a lot and seeing so many people struggling, you'd think that she would actually show some sort of evidence or proof that she actually is giving back, or else she's literally just using other people's misfortune and misery for money. Or she makes up stories so that people can be concerned for her and her family and give them more attention and views, such as this video. POV, the locals invite you to lunch, but then you realize they're the cartel, so now you're walking back home. And by the way, there's a supposedly like funny audio playing. First of all, joking about the cartel is literally menace work, bro. But guys, this is so real. This is the exact face and emotions and speed of walking I would be doing if I too was invited by the cartel. Apparently, she wasn't lying. She captioned it, "We are safe. Don't worry. Hashtag vacation horror story." And of course, people in the comments were eating it up, asking if they were okay and all this type of stuff. And she then commented, "We were never in danger." Oh my god, bro, anything for attention. And again, she gets praised a lot for this type of content, which I don't understand why. There is a lot of content that she has made that is just very self-absorbed as well, where she makes other people's tragedies about her. One moment where she did this was about someone's infant in a hot car with the caption reading, "Holding my baby extra tight tonight because I would never do that to her," which it's like, okay, good for you. A baby's life was still lost. Yeah, it's the parents' fault and the parents are idiots and should be absolutely jailed, but just so weird to say. Or another TikTok that she posted was about how she visited a school and that reminded her of a school tragedy that had nothing to do with her, with sad music, as well as her posting videos of her singing songs of joy and hope because the quote-unquote atmosphere of the world is so scary right now. And this is what we all need right now.
You're broken down and tired of hearing all the news that's going around.
Girl, I don't know about if that's what we all need, because quite frankly, for me to de-stress, girl, let me do some hot Pilates, let me get some froyo with my sis, let me get a good drinky drink at Dos Alas, and let me go clubbing for a bit. For me, that's all I need. I don't know about doing all of this.
Tired.
What is up with like famous people and influencers and just rich people in general thinking that singing will solve the world? Like, bitch, this isn't High School Musical. I don't get it. I've also talked about this a long time ago on one of my first commentary videos of people singing "Imagine There's No Heaven" when the panini first struck.
I wonder if you can. No need for greed and hunger. Brotherhood of man.
And like a bunch of rich ass billionaires and millionaires were like, "Oh, the poor people who can't afford rent are suffering. I know, we can sing it away. Come on, gang." Girl, find the note, find the note. And then like one of the celebrities genuinely thought that the whole Imagine song was actually the Imagine song by Ariana Grande.
Me with no makeup, you in the bathtub, bubbles and bubbly, ooh.
America's a joke. America's a joke. I can't. I think the strangest things that Nika has ever done when it comes to kind of like this weird trying to make herself look humble and trying to make it seem like she's a good parent by teaching her kids that they have it better than other kids and stuff was the literal YouTube vlog where she took her child to an orphanage for a birthday party. And I'm not joking. Oh, would you look at that? I can't find it because it's been deleted. Like literally everything else. Now, if you guys haven't realized, sis is out of touch with reality. Whether it's her thinking that singing will solve anything, to making tragedies and other people's deaths and unfortunate about herself. Like what? I understand wanting to teach your kids like, oh, you should be grateful and this and that and everything. But to take them to a literal orphanage and have a birthday there? How is that like, first of all, you're doing way too damn much. You're doing way too damn much. Not only are you doing way too damn much, you're actually doing way too damn little for the actual kids who have less than your child. I can't. She has also filmed herself with sad music driving to the hospital because her kid was having a like deadly severe allergic reaction with the caption, "This is how it feels with the pressure of knowing that you're the only one she got." Well, it's real comforting to know that the only one she got first instinct was to film instead of just rushing to the damn hospital. And again, a lot of people were like, "Mama Bear, this is so brave. This is so vulnerable of you. Thank you so much for sharing." And I know I've brought up that video a couple of times throughout this video, but the reason why I'm bringing that up is because it should show you guys how much she weaponizes her overstimulation, anxiety, panic attacks, and mental health. Look, y'all, I'm all for mental health, okay? Please protect your mental health. Seek help when you need help. But y'all know damn well that there's a massive difference between being a mental health advocate and faking a panic attack that is sponsored. I feel like Nika Diwa gets away with a lot of this behavior because she has been a very outspoken person for postpartum depression. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of women struggle with it and it's very much real, but Nika Diwa tends to weaponize it and overuse words like overstimulation that honestly, it feels like we're backtracking. Overstimulation for this, panic attack with this, anxiety for this. And look, I'm not here to say that she doesn't have that, but I will say as someone who is diagnosed medically with generalized anxiety disorder as well as anxiety panic disorder, my first instinct when I'm having a panic attack is not to prop up my camera, make sure I have good lighting, and film myself doing the panic attack. And when I'm overstimulated, the last thing I think about is filming myself. When I'm overstimulated, it don't look like this with quirky music in the background. It's actually horrible. It's like, oh god, the lights, the music, the tag on my shirt, it's touching me. I gotta get out of this place. Look, everyone reacts to panic attacks and anxiety and all type of stuff differently, so I'm not here to judge that, but y'all, be so for real right now. Not go through a panic attack with me. What is this, a get ready with me, a makeup tutorial? What? I understand trying to normalize mental health and educate people, but this just feels to me like it's doing the opposite. She overuses the words overstimulation and panic attacks so much that it actually pisses me off so bad. She has used this term for also fake videos, and I'm not referring to the sponsored video. I mean videos like this where she pretended to get a fake tattoo that supposedly went wrong when clearly it's just Sharpie and she never got it. And she captioned it, "I'm having a panic attack because I gave them the wrong wording for my tattoo." Like, that is just straight up trivializing the actual horror that it is to have a panic attack and to use it for not only content that sucks but content that is lying is honestly so distasteful. You can absolutely be a mom and adult and struggling with these things but have hard times and have mental health issues. I'm not saying that, but it does become a problem when you weaponize it, when you overuse it to the point where you trivialize problems that people have with these mental disorders and mental disorder symptoms, mental health symptoms, and also infantilizing yourself, such as the fact that she got triggered that her daughter wanted to sleep in bed with her because she was doing co-sleeping by saying, "Why does she want to act like she's the baby?" Probably because she is the baby. Nika Diwa is definitely one of those people who have something called learned helplessness. I'm not trying to diagnose anyone, but this is actually a sentiment that I've been seeing overall with just people nowadays, specifically millennials who genuinely enjoy infantilizing themselves and acting like babies. And I do think that there is a much deeper societal impact as to why we see so many millennials be terrible parents and also act like Nika Diwa and think that it's like cute and quirky when in reality it's like, no, not really. There is a tie that I believe is happening where people who are always constantly oversharing, overexposing their lives on social media, that it has to do with something deeper than we think, that has single-handedly given a rise to inauthentic content and fabricated vulnerability, and people fall for it every single time, praising it, not understanding that what they're seeing is complete lies.
I speak generational. Trust is broken over this child. No more is she gonna wonder if she's enough. She is gonna be a warrior. She's gonna be an advocate for women everywhere. She's gonna be an advocate for herself.
Final discussion topic: Nika Diwa and the social media vulnerability paradox. The rise of impulse sharing versus authentic vulnerability and the addiction to validation. I mentioned this earlier in the video, but there's absolutely a weird culture that has been developing online of just oversharing. And I made a video a long time ago about how trauma dumping culture and oversharing culture has become a really huge thing on social media, where people are confusing fabricated vulnerable moments for being authentic and being brave and stuff, which I personally think it's very dangerous. I think people should be able to talk about their mental health, their marriages, and all these things and the downsides of, you know, life in general. And to an extent, yes, it's brave and stuff, but the more that we truly give it a lot of worship instead of normalizing it, because there's a difference, there's going to be more people like Nika Diwa coming out of the woodworks trying to get praise for just doing the most heinous, crazy, disgusting things, which then in turn enables them. I think in general, the reason why this is, I do believe, especially prominent in mommy influencers and family vloggers, is that oversharing culture and parental isolation goes hand in hand with romanticizing this lifestyle, and mixing it with social media is a deadly kind of mix because they both feed deeply into one another. It's like a weird cycle. When it comes to mommy vloggers and influencers who often engage in like oversharing on social media, presenting deeply personal and sometimes toxic content as brave or authentic, it's like a phenomenon that can be attributed to psychological, social, and economic factors that shape their behavior and the audience's reception of their content. There is like a literal psychological side to just oversharing in general, and it does tie deeply into social media because social media is the fastest way that you can overshare. It's often linked to the human need for validation, connection, and community, and for mommy vloggers this tends to be very common because mom culture is just kind of isolating in general, which is why you see them give into the vulnerability paradox a lot more often. And the vulnerability paradox is, well, in social media culture, vulnerability is often equated with authenticity, and authenticity is often rewarded with engagement. However, when oversharing becomes performative, such as this, it paradoxically distorts the idea of vulnerability, which is why I feel like a lot of people fall for not only content like Nika Diwa's content, but just content like this in general online, because it's almost like no one knows what truly is true, authentic vulnerability and then what is fabricated, or what is the lines between something that is truly vulnerable and then just exploitation, because it turns this vulnerability in these moments into a commodity rather than genuine self-expression. And mommy vloggers may feel pressured to continually outdo themselves in sharing personal struggles and bad moments and all that stuff to maintain their brand of relatability, when in reality a lot of these things just, I don't know, y'all, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. At this point, I've made so many of these damn videos, I feel like maybe I'm being gaslit somehow. Because, okay, y'all tell me, is this relatable, yes or no?
Why is that such a heavy cost?
Could you ever cheat on me?
Absolutely. I need to buy a gun. Just can't figure out to have the punani and peen conversation with her.
We're gonna have to do a C-section.
With you not being with me on Christmas, first of all.
I personally don't find that relatable, okay? Like this whole new age of worshiping the bare minimum of parenthood and stuff like that, where people are like, I never clean my house has roaches and that's normal, and screw you for judging me. It's like, no, that's actually not normal. It's not, and we should not be normalizing that at all. And it's not relatable. Sorry, it's not relatable. It's not. And there is a current cultural shift where women, especially mothers online, are expected to be raw and unfiltered, because if you're too perfect, then you also get belittled and criticized for that, which truly is just the internalized misogyny that just the misogyny society has for women, where it's like, you can't be too perfect, but you also can't be too messy. So there's like a new trope of the hot mom mess online, which has gained a lot more traction. And since social media has kind of praised the perfect woman in marriage and relationship for such a long time, people have kind of swung the other way, because again, society is very extreme in how they approach these things. If it's not completely left, then it will be completely right within a decade. If it's not completely right within a decade, it will be completely left. We will never be in the middle. And this is often seen too online, where now everyone is worshiping the ground of the hot mom trope on social media, where chaos is seen as endearing and relatable, where dirty homes are seen as quirky. By showcasing their struggles of motherhood, mental health, and financial hardships, mommy vloggers position themselves as real, in contrast to the curated perfection and traditional influencers that we see, like Ballerina Farm. And to an extent, I do agree that this can be a good thing, because let's be so for real, many people out there are struggling, whether it's emotionally, financially, and on top of that, being a parent makes it even harder. So sometimes it is nice to be able to relate to someone who's also going through something like you, who has a platform that seems to be perfect all the time. I get that. However, I think at this point it's bordering on the line of being a online mommy martyr, and this is absolutely what Nika Diwa is going through. Many mommy vloggers glorify their suffering as a badge of honor. This aligns with the cultural expectation that mothers should sacrifice everything for their children, I will say. However, if they endure hardships but persist, they are perceived as selfless warriors, which earns them praise and engagement. And this can be super tricky because this can be fabricated online. And we have seen this throughout this video, how Nika Diwa manipulates her audience to get that self-gratification immediately by oversharing and becoming the mommy martyr. Like, girl, you are not struggling. Your husband literally surprised you to a trip to Mexico because you said, I'm craving Mexican food. Be so for real right now. And when you start manufacturing struggles for clout and TikTok views and all this type of stuff, you start to grasp at anything, which is making tragedies about yourself, which is using your marriage and oversharing about that, which then leads into oversharing and exploiting your own children. And you know it's not genuine because she immediately deletes every single thing anyone has ever called her out on to also keep that clean look. Right now, the majority of things I've talked about in this video is going to be pretty hard to find, as Nika Diwa has basically wiped out any criticism or evidence off the face of the internet, and all of her socials have been pretty slow lately because there are so many other YouTubers making videos exposing her. She is definitely one step ahead of everyone at all times. In general, Nika Diwa is a hard one to figure out and to talk about in general because she doesn't really represent a Ruby Frankie. She doesn't really fit into the Nurse Hannahs or the Astrovinos. She's a whole different type of momfluencer in her own lane. I mean, that lane is headed the wrong way, but one can only hope that throughout all of these people calling her out, that she can hopefully make some sort of a change. She is the mastermind behind all of this, basically. She wants to be authentic, but not too authentic to the point where people get mad at her post. Like, girl, make it make sense. One of the biggest contradictions with oversharing culture is that it's not always about vulnerability, it's about the appearance of vulnerability. That is why Nika Diwa always posts herself crying to sad music, praying like a madman, or doing stuff like this, because she cares about the appearance. A lot of mommy influencers post super emotional, personal breakdowns, not because they genuinely need help or support, but because they've learned that curated vulnerability performs well online. And that's when you get hoes in the comments being like, you're so brave for sharing this. I wish more people were vulnerable like you. Thank you for showing the true raw side of motherhood. And y'all eat it up every time. Y'all eat it up every time. That's why these people don't change. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. But the second the post of that vulnerability and rawness doesn't get the immediate dopamine rush of validation, or people being like, you're so brave, they're like, I'm gonna delete it. And that's exactly what Nika Diwa did and still does, which is why a lot of this stuff you can't just find by searching up her name. You have to deep dive into it. And that to me shows me that she's hiding a lot more than we think. It was never about opening up for healing. It was about controlling how they want to be perceived. And if the audience doesn't play into the narrative or sympathizes immediately, they erase it. Look, at the end of the day, there's a really thin line between using your story to inspire others, the vulnerability of your marriage, the downsides to motherhoods, and even mental health, whatever you want. But then there's selling your own trauma, other people's info, moments that we do not need to see to pay the bills. And that line gets even thinner and thinner and thinner when children are involved. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys watched the entire thing, comment down a duck emoji down below because that means I love you and that you watched the whole thing and that you actually care about me. And here's a kiss. Thank you so much. Now guys, remember to like, subscribe, and also hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so you guys are notified whenever I upload. Also comment down your opinions on all of this. Do y'all think that this whole stuff has gone too far? What is your opinion on family vloggers? To what end do you think will this end? Now y'all already know. Y'all are free to agree with me, disagree. Just make sure to keep it cute, keep it cordial. There is a fine line between disagreeing and then telling me to go play in traffic. So yeah. Y'all, if y'all haven't already, follow me on Instagram at _Tovar_. Join my chat on my Instagram so you guys get behind the scenes things about what I'm working on that week, about what I'm doing and everything. I would love for you guys to join my neighborhood chat. And guys, I also have a podcast called the Salem Tovar Podcast. It's on Apple Music. It's on Spotify. So if y'all want to take my voice with you to do laundry and stuff, I would love to fold laundry with you with my ghostly ghost voice in the background. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Y'all know I give you guys homework every single time I turn on this video. Y'all, my homework is just to take a damn nap after this. I know I am, because my brain is fried after this. And stop giving people like this attention, or else I'm gonna, probably do nothing about it. Anyways, thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.